Alright, I'm here with Kyle Sutton, the 2010 Youth WeHuntSC.com buck winner. Kyle, why don't you tell us a little bit about your deer? Tell me how you shot it. Give us a story.
Daddy went to the stand I wanted to go to, so I went to the fast stand because I had a buddy coming over about 8:30. It got light, and there were a few deer out there, and I saw a bigger body deer come out, and I saw how wide it was. So I shot it, and it fell. And about an hour later, I saw another buck chasing a doe to my right, and he got a little bit later, and he came out and made a scrape, and I saw how wide he was, and I shot him too, and he fell.
Now, did you know how big it was when you shot?
Yeah, but I thought it was a lot bigger when I shot him until we got down there.
I hear you. Alright, and if you could say anything to the sponsors who've given you these prizes, what you want to say?
Thank you.
Alright, we appreciate it. Here with Dale Knight, winner of the Muzzy 2010 WeHuntSC.com Archery Buck of the Year competition. Dale, you want to tell us a little bit about, story how you shot the deer?
Well, waited till a rut come in. Usually I bow hunt all the time, and I'm pretty bad about waiting till the rut to get the bucks moving a lot better. Had some acorn trees that really started dropping acorns, and just waited till that happened. All coincided together. Had been hunting a couple of times and saw some smaller bucks, and went in, I believe it was on the 18th if I'm not mistaken, and had already seen a couple of young bucks come in, a couple of does, and probably about 30 minutes before I was getting ready to come down out of the tree, I happened to look up and saw a pretty good rack coming up the edge of the creek, and he sure enough came in right to the tree and ate up under the acorn tree probably for 5 minutes before I was able to get a shot. Got the shot off at him. He went about 100, 125 yards, and here we are today.
Alright, so you won the competition by a pretty good number of votes, and who you think that was attributed to?
Well, I don't know. I did get talked to a few of my friends to get them to vote for me, but I don't have that many friends that I know of. I think I got 92 votes, so that's more friends than I think I got anyway.
Alright, well, you got a bunch of goodies to play with and hunt with next year, and we'll be looking forward to some feedback on that on the website.
Alright, I really appreciate WeHuntSC.com and appreciate all the sponsors and all the good prizes they've given out. Looking forward to getting into competition again next year.
Alright, here with Brantley Barfield, the Groundhog Max 2010 WeHuntSC.com Buck of the Year winner. Brantley, you got a lot of goodies to play with here shortly. You want to tell us a story of how you shot that deer?
Yeah, it was a Monday morning and real cold. I figured if I climbed in a stand that was near some hardwoods where I'd seen them chase years before, I might have good luck. So I snuck in with my climber, and right after daylight I could hear noises, and you know how you hear grunts, but this was a big grunt chasing through there, but I couldn't see anything. And right as it started getting light, he came around the side of a tree chasing a doe, and I could just see the side of his rack out past his ears. I didn't have a clear shot, and had to watch him walk away, and chased her up through the trees, and I sat there for 3 hours. I got to sit there and kick myself for not finding a hole in the bushes or someplace to put a bullet. And I guess around 10 o'clock I started hearing noises again, and out through the timber came another buck, another 8-point chasing another doe, or I think it was another doe, and he wasn't as big, and I thought it was my mind playing tricks on me, but 6-point came out to harass the buck and that doe, and had another cowhorn that was staying out there too far, really get a glimpse of that one. And as they started to move off, that was when I started to settle down, thinking I'd really messed up. I wasn't gonna see that buck again for another year or two. And I heard a little bit of a crunch behind me and turned around and looked, and he just was coming up through the timber, just doing a stiff leg walk. And I didn't really have time to think about it then. I flipped my gun over. I had one little hole there to shoot between 2 twigs, and bullet hit, and he fell right over. The interesting thing was when he fell over, his horns fell back and hit the side of a tree, a good 6-inch tree, and it was like a gong going through the woods. It was like the end of a good hunt. But I stayed up in that tree for 45 minutes watching him through the scope, making sure he didn't get up and do anything. Finally, once I got my nerves under me, I crawled down and went over there to take a look at him. But man, it was funny. You see lots of bucks, they have ground shrinkage. When I got over to him, there wasn't any, and that's one of the great things about that morning. But I enjoyed it.
And so how far of a shot was it, you say?
75 yards.
75 yards.
Paced off.
That was a really nice deer. Now you got a pretty good prize package here. Gonna be able to play with a Groundhog Max. We'll expect some feedback on that after you get to use it for everybody on the site. And if there's anything you want to say to anybody on the site, to the people that voted, to the sponsors, just feel free.
Yeah, I was just gonna say congratulations to all the other winners, and thanks. I'm gonna put it all to good use. I've been trying to use an old disc that was built for behind a tractor, pulling it with a four-wheeler, and I've been wanting one of these groundhogs and see how good it'll cut in. I'm sure it'll do a lot better than anything I've seen. But I'm going to give it a good shot, and I'll send you some pictures on it. And appreciate everybody else, from the Wild Energy drinks to the broadheads. I'm going to put it all to good use. You don't have to worry about that.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
Thank
all right, I'm here with ER, the True Timber 2010 WeHuntSC.com doe competition winner. ER got a nice doe, had a good picture on there, and got a lot of votes. ER, you want to tell us a little bit about the story about how you shot that deer?
Well, we were supposed to go hunting early in the morning, but my daddy couldn't get his butt up, so we went during the middle of the day, and when we was getting ready to leave, he let me use the deer call, and a doe, it just starts coming running out of the woods and just hopping all over the place. And then when it gets still, I get the AR-15 and I line everything up, and then I just fire it. And the deer, it rears up and it starts running through the woods. And like when we're going through the woods to find it, there was a lot of blood leading through it, so it wasn't too hard to find.
I hear you. So you put it on there. Well, you had a pretty good guest blog entry following that hunt, and I think a lot of people liked that, and obviously a lot of people voted for you on the site. So is there anything you'd like to say to the people on the site, anybody that comes to YouTube, or any other sponsors or anything like that?
I thank the sponsors for all the cool stuff that I got, and I'm going to enjoy using that ground blind next hunting season. And that's pretty much it. Anything
to your fans out there who voted for you?
Thank you.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, we're here with the 2010 WeHuntSC.com Mackenzie Scent Fan Duffel Bag Women's Competition winner, Heather Clarkson. Heather got a nice deer here. You want to tell us a little bit about how you shot that deer?
Yeah, it actually started off as a horrible morning because my brother messed up the sunrise time. So I was going to go out on a field stand, had to go out in a wood stand instead, sitting out there, the sun's already risen. Some little 4-point walks by and I'm like, go away, all I've ever seen is 4 points on this stupid stand. And he left, and then a yearling spike came in and he moseyed around a little, and then finally he left, and I was like, alright, I'm going to stay till 8:30. And right about 8:25, well, I was playing with my binoculars. I'm sitting up there looking up in the sky at some like birds or something, and I'm putting my binoculars down, and I see 6 does in the corner, and I'm like, okay, I gotta shoot a doe. I need some meat. So I'm pulling my gun over, and as I'm sighting in on the does, I see movement straight ahead, and I look, and I'm like, those are antlers. And he comes out, he's in full rut, big neck, not paying any bit of attention to me. And I waited about 20 seconds for him to come out from behind a tree and let it loose, and he didn't move. And I remember I called my dad afterwards so he can come pick me up, and my voice is shaking, and I'm like, Daddy, come here. And he's like, oh, what'd you get? And I was like, he's big, come here now. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of him. I was so excited.
Do you know what kind of gun you were shooting when you were hunting?
I was using a Weatherby 308.
Must be nice. All right, so what about the people on the site that voted for you, or the sponsors, or anything you'd like to say to the people who will see this video on the site?
Yeah, thank you for voting for me. I don't know anybody. I probably got maybe 2 friends of mine to vote for me, so that means that a lot of other people voted for me, so I appreciate that.
All right, well, we appreciate it.